Okay, are we finding that first one, guys? Either finding the point or finding the gradient. The marks would be 2 marks. 1, 2. I can bring it in the next one.
I'm going to find this as a
No, you're not sure what you said. All right, the next one you have to do with C, right? There we go. I got y is 2 over x. No problem. Yeah, somehow. Yeah, then. Oh, that's C. Oh, that's, yeah. Okay, so you're just gonna say negative 2 times negative 1. We're not supposed to be. Yeah. Oh, you do. Sorry. Yeah, I wrote A2C and I put A1C. I have sorry. Oh, you might be looking at me, you guys. This is C. Sorry, I didn't do. Sorry. Because I have negative 2. Oh, okay. I have negative 2 times negative 1. Oh, negative 2. So what's the answer could be that? What type of graph would be? Oh, A was a half. Okay. Let's have a look. Sorry guys, I didn't do the right one. So for B you have to get a half x squared or x squared over 2. So I have to check that as well. Okay, F is the next one. We got another one for F. Yes, in agreement? No,
Yes.
okay, negative 3 over x. Okay, can I go on to the next one? Next one, okay, 2A, B, and D you have to do. All right, so there is 2A. Sorry, let me just get it. You guys will get that Q was 2. So 2A. All right, so then that is the equation there. Now guys, in this case, unfortunately, you could just look at the y-intercept and use that as your Q value because they plotted the y-intercept, but they didn't actually tell us what the coordinates of that point were. So you had to solve for Q. So the only way you could do that was by subbing in the other points that they gave you and solve it. All right, for B, I got that Q was 1.
I just got named one on there.
No problem. They just you probably put negative, put it in a bracket. Squaring it is 1, that is squaring not a minus. Guys, this is saying negative x squared. It's not negative in brackets, negative x in brackets squared. So you're not squaring a minus at all, you're just squaring a 1. If you're looking at this, guys, if you're getting negative 1 for your Q value, does that go with your graph? What is the Q value? The y-intercept. You can see that our y-intercept has to be a positive value, right? It's above the x-axis. So if you get a negative 1 here, then you must look at your graph and actually check that it matches up with the graph. Right, D was over there. That's what I got. I got Q equals 1 again. Let me know if you guys don't agree with me, which is opposite. No, it's the 8. It's the 8. I don't see the 8. Like I'm invisible. All right. Next one, 3B. There we go. So for 3B, you actually find A and Q. Q is the y-intercept, so that was off, but Q was 9 there. And then you sub in the other points that you have in order to solve for x. Find that one? Right, D. So Q, oh, this was the mean one, right? Where they didn't actually tell us what our Q value was. We can see that it's supposed to be a positive value, but they didn't tell us what this Y value was, but this asymptote. So we couldn't use the method that I showed you guys in class. So what you had to do was, luckily they gave us 2 points. Okay, so you see I subbed in the point -1, 2 into my equation. Then I just simplified it a little bit, right? Because A divided by -1 is just negative. Then I realized, oh no, I have one equation with 2 variables, I can't solve it. Okay? You're going to need a second equation with 2 variables in order to solve. But the simultaneous equation situation. Oh, sorry, the other bit is there. I was thinking, where's the other working? So then what I did was, in my same standard form, I subbed in the other point equation. 1, 0. So your y value is 0, your x value is 1. So when you simplify this, you're left with 0 equals A, because A over 1 is just A plus Q. And then guys, now you have your 2 equations, right? So you have your 2 equals -A plus Q, and you have your 0 equals A plus Q. When you're solving simultaneously, what do? What's that first step? Isolate one of the variables, right? You could have isolated the variable here, guys, it would have been kind of equally easy, I suppose. I just said, okay, let me just move that -Q. All right, so I have A equals -Q, which I then substituted there in the place of A. Right, you can see 2 is equal to -A, which is -Q plus Q. So this is Q plus Q, which is 2Q, so then Q is 1. But if you decided to isolate, say, for example, Q in your first equation, your working will be different. But guys, you should remember some simultaneous equations, it's fine. If your steps are different, and this should obviously still get the same answers. So A was -1 and Q was 1. And so that's a nice kind of application question, right? It's a graphs question, but we're making you do simultaneous equations. You do need to do graphs. Don't think, oh, it's not an equation question, I'm not going to be asked to do that. Are there any questions on this one? You guys get these answers? Yeah. 2 is 1 and A -1 is 1. Q is equal to A plus 2, yes, that's fine.
And 2 is 2, I got
0 equals A plus 2.
so Q is equal to A minus A, right, or A minus.
Right, 4D already. Oh, that's very dark. Sorry, but it's all working. Yeah. Okay. Did you do the other method of okay, I'll reply to this one, guys. Sorry that it's a dot, but the y-intercept was -9. Over there in quantity, and then the Q was -9, and then you start in the 0.30 to solve for A. Right? Yeah. Actually, not further. What is it? But I'm glad to get the positive reactions. Right, guys, and the third was 4, right? So that's not too bad. It's not quite nice, give us that. So now to get A, you just have to sub in the other point, -2, 0. If you start in that third line. Any other questions on E?
So this before we just have to pick one of them and then like put it down.
Oh, you didn't actually finally break.
No,
Oh.
I thought we had to like. I just thought we had to pick which one it was. I was like, that's so easy. And then and actually not. Okay, I can do this now. I was like, this is so nice. Good night for the end. Very easy.
Right, that's H. The last one that you have to do here was H. Or H.
Yeah.
Alright, again, the asymptote was -2, so Q is -2, you plug in another point, one for A, done. No, I don't think that knows the link. That's a question.
No, absolutely not.
I think that was a problem.
Yes. You'll see what you say about that next week, Wednesday, when you do the test. It is to me. Yeah, so just. So you just say,
Yeah, I just have to. And then I also. Like this one, the other thing, yeah, the other thing. Okay,
okay, guys, we are doing interpretation of sketch graphs.
and is this what we're doing after time? Like, going to like my evidence and stuff.
All right, here we go. Alright, we're gonna put this next step. But I do have a schedule where you can look at it. Let's try it.
175, Lee.
Sure, you get me on. Oh, then I'm gonna relax while I'm walking because you guys are gonna be able to answer the question.
I mean, it's making life easy for you.
Lovely, sounds good.
You get some more questions to be possible.
And as out of worksheet, we're not gonna look at it straight away, but I'm just having it up on like a thing. We're gonna be looking at the worksheet after that.
I would like to.
I think we I'm sure they will.
So wait, I'm gonna leave that question.
Yeah, I stopped on it, but I'm.
Okay.
Okay.
But we do that example.
Try even after that. All right, guys, are you ready to get going? So again, got two graphs here. I know it's again a little bit dark, but you guys, we have different graphs here. Obviously, they've also given us two equations. So the one equation is y equals negative x squared plus 1. Right? The x squared tells us that this is a parabola equation, right? So we see that there we have our parabola. So that equation there, again, you don't have to do this, guys. It is in your book. Is y equals negative x squared plus 1. That actually looks terrible. Let me do that rather. Y equals negative x squared plus 1. All right, the other equation, y equals x minus 1. What type of equation is that? Straight line, and we see that the other graph is a straight line, right? So that one is y equals x minus 1. Okay, now for A, I've written the question down there. Find the coordinates of A, B, C, and E. Right, so you can just write A. You want to find A, B, C, D, and E. Those are 5 coordinates. They're not telling us what types of points those are, right? They've labeled each point, each of these points with a letter, and we need to look at what type of point is A, what type of point is B. All right, I'm going to zoom in a bit so that you can see. Okay. We're looking at, I'm not sure what you're asking for. 175, you have a whole like 3 minutes left. You're trying to wait. Okay, A is what type? Okay, let's focus. Sorry. What type of point is A, guys? Firstly, what graph does A lie on? The parabola. And it is a y-intercept. Do we know what the y-intercept of that parabola is? Let's look at the equation. 1. So what are the coordinates of point A? 0 and 1. So guys, in my answer, I'm going to be a little bit clearer. I'm going to say A is the y-intercept. You don't have to be this clear, but since it's the first example, I think let's write down as much information as possible. Is the y-intercept of the parabola. So it is the point 0, 1. Okay, I think I'm going to do it in red when I draw it on here. So I'm actually just going to put those coordinates there, 0, 1. If you have a worksheet or a test or exam, it's a good idea too, just like when we did geometry, right? And if you calculate on and put it on your picture. Okay, so we can use mine here. Then look at B, that's the next point that we need to find. What point is that? Y-intercept of the straight line. Do you see that? Oh, what's the equation of the straight line again? Y equals x minus 1. So what's that point? 0, negative 1. Well done, guys. Then you're in the small. Okay. Yes. This one. Okay, so B is the y-intercept of the straight line. So that point is 0, negative 1. Okay, we still have 3 more points that we need to find, C, D, and E. Go back up to the picture, C and D. Those 2 points there, those are x-intercepts. You notice that of the parabola. No, because you need to know what the x value is. You can't just choose an x value. Okay, so these 2 points C and D are the x-intercepts. You guys see that because they lie on the x-axis, right? X-intercepts of the parabola. Guys, how do we find the x-intercept of any parabola? Any graph axis? Make y equal to 0. Good, and you solve. All right, so I'm going to write here C and D. You're going to calculate them both at the same time. X-intercepts of the parabola. So what we do for that is we make y equal to 0. So the equation of the parabola was negative x squared plus 1. And we make y equal to 0 there. That is equal to y. Now what? How do I solve for x? Yep. We can put the 1 first, yeah, or we can divide through by -1. You can also do that. All right, and now it's a difference of 2 squares, right? 1 plus x, 1 minus x, equal to 0. So what am I to do? X values here. Positive and -1. Hey, guys, you can actually write it like this if you want to save some time. Right, x is positive or -1. Or you can write x equals 1, x equals -1. Right, it's fine either way. This is just if you want to take some time maybe in a test or exam. So now guys, we're getting 2 x values. We now need to look at the picture. We need to see which x value belongs to C and which x value belongs to D. We can't just decide. Okay, we have to look at the picture. Our answers have to match the picture. Do we notice that C has to have a negative x value, right? And D has to have a positive x value. So C is going to be -1 and D is going to be +1. I'm going to write that in so long. Try to get further. You do have to do that, guys. Your answers to match your range. Alright, are we fine with that, guys? No, if they didn't ask you to find the y-intercept and the x-intercept, they just said find these points. We have to figure out what types of points they were. The last one that we need to find is point E. Now, we haven't actually done a calculation like the one that we're going to have to do to find point E. Where is E? Over here. That is where the straight line cuts or crosses through the parabola. Do you see that? Is there another point like that, guys? Yep. Point D, but we've already calculated the hey, we already know that the coordinates are 1 and 0. Now guys, this point, a point where 2 graphs meet, obviously now, is called a point of intersection. I think we did mention it yesterday somewhere, I can't remember now. And there's a very specific way that we need to find the actual coordinates. Yeah.
But since they're both one, they negative x squared plus 1 x minus 1. That's one of the 4 x and then x up in that x value.
Good one. Yes. Guys, yes. I'm gonna say sorry. Guys, so that point is 1 point, right? It's the same point on the parabola and on the straight line. It's the point where the 2 graphs essentially are equal to each other. So what we do is we make the 2 equations equal to each other. Okay, so I'm going to take the equation of the parabola, which was negative x squared plus 1. I'm going to make it equal to the equation of the straight line, which was x minus 1. Because guys, these 2 y values, isn't it the same value if I'm looking at E? E has to have a y value of, say, it's something negative, say -3, whatever, I'm making that up. Right? But if it's -3 on the straight line, if it's -3 on the parabola, it's the same point. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 equations, make them equal to each other, solve for x, and how many answers do you think we're going to do if I solve for x? How many points of intersection do I have? 2, hey? That one and that one. So I'm going to get x equals 1 as an answer, and then another negative x value as well. Okay, then we'll see what we do after that to get the y value. All right, so E, I'm actually going to write it on the side here. E is the point of intersection. Parabola and straight line. Therefore, make equations. I'm just looking at equations equal
and solve it.
I would like you guys to do that on your own, that actual calculation. So the equation of the parabola was negative x squared plus 1, right? And the equation of the straight line was x minus 1. Okay, solve for x on your own, please.
Really broken. Really bad.
I've been there. It's fine. It happens.
You can always bounce.
The practice of the law, right?
Yeah, must be very good.
There's a thing on the side in front of the law.
That's what it's a month and a month. That's gonna be what? Oh, did it divide by negative. Yeah, you don't want a negative.
You wanna get a time? If you move it on one side, you get x squared plus x. Plus and minus 1.
Okay.
Not just me.
Okay, so guys, once I got to this step, I just divided through by negative 1.
Is it the bigger number gets the first?
No, I don't know that. That's what I know.
Thank you.
Alright, so guys, just a quick recap on how to factorize a trinomial. You look at the last term, which is 2. You want factors of 2, because there's a minus in front. The difference between those factors, so one of them minus the other one, must give you positive 1, the number there in front. So 2 has to be 2 and 1, right? Those are the only two numbers that when you multiply them together will give you 2. And then it has to be plus 2 and minus 1, so that's the only way for me to get this 1. Yes. Yeah, you see, if you don't do the trinomial, then you're going to cancel out one of your solutions. Oh, yeah, which will lose marks for that. You have to get the trinomial. Okay? Let me do that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys, we said already this x value was which point? D, hey, we have 2, E and D. D is the 0.10. We've actually already calculated that one. So guys, if you want to, you can just take a little arrow here, and you can say that this is going to be the x value of point E, and this is the x value of point D. We've already found the coordinates of D, guys. We don't have to do it again. Okay, so all we now actually need to do is we need to go find the y value of E. We know that the x value is negative 2. Let's take a look quickly. Can I say that it's like 0 or something if I'm looking at E? It's just somewhere here, right? We know that it's a negative number. We're not sure what number it is exactly. So guys, what you're going to do now is you're going to take the x value that you have. It's a point on the parabola and the straight line graph. So you can decide which formula you want to work with, which equation rather, sorry. You can decide, do you want to use the parabola equation or the straight line equation? We're going to sub in that x value into that equation. That will give you the y value of the point. Which one do you guys think is going to be easiest?
The straight
Both
line.
kind of easy, right? But the straight line I use, because that's just a number minus another number. Okay, so let's sub it back into the straight line equation. And say, yeah, therefore y is equal to that equation of x minus 1. What is the x value here? Negative 2 minus 1. Which is negative 3. And that fits with my picture, guys. That is a negative number. Okay.
This one,
Yeah. Alright, so E is the point negative 2, negative 3. I'm just going to make a note here. Sub into either equation. Guys, if you had subbed it into the parabola equation, you would get the same y value because it is it's 1 point. Okay, negative 3 on the straight line and off. What is the next one? Let's see. The distance AB. All right, so that's it for A. Any questions on A?
negative 2x.
You already found D and E, the other point of it. You want. And even if we didn't know that you could find, we could see that with a negative 1. All right, B. Yeah. So now we are made to find the unit circus. The distance AB. All right, AB. AB is over here. Is that length, right? And the distance AB.
Yeah.
Guys, how many units do I have here? So one, negative 1.
2.
2 units.
That's the answer.
Okay.
I like this one.
What I am going to write though, I'm going to write a little formula that you're going to use, but just in case, AB is the y value of which point is up, is at the top, A, hey? So the y value of A minus the y value of B, that will give you that distance. Okay, in case you maybe can't see it just by looking at the graph, you can take the y value of that point minus the y value of this point. And that will give you that. So y value of A minus the y value of B. Again, you don't have to write that down. You also don't have to write this next step down. I'm just showing you that the formula does work. The y value of A was 1. The y value of B was negative 1. And what happens when you do a minus minus? It becomes plus, right? So 1 plus 1 is 2. Just add, just like you put that out, that is 2 numbers. Okay, that's not too bad, right? Any questions on this one? C. What a nice thing.
Yeah, we would finish school at like 1:30. Like
I just work here, make sure that next time that they're gonna have a grade assembly or a grade, what's it? Grade council, you put that. Honestly, it's fun.
But then we have more time to be at home, like the work we can do.
Okay, that is the next question. Thank you. Have your school. And I'll wait for you.
Or those long days.
How many questions?
Was one more option.
Is that long?
We're literally doing them with the teachers on our.
It's not gonna come on.
All right, can you write that down? I want to go after.
And we have a young brush with pretty sticky. Both dogs. Then we have
Okay, I'm moving up. I'm going to the graph. There we go. They are wanting this distance now, guys. GH. So if we look at the formula that we just wrote down, if we want to apply it to GH now, we're going to have to take the y value of G minus the y value of H. Right? To get GH. Does that make sense? For AB, we did the y value of A minus the y value of B. Again, these two points rather are directly in line with each other. So this y value minus that y value. We don't have these y values, that's the problem.
and the number why that saying it's over.
Yes, let's look at that. They are telling us that OF is 3 units. Oh dear, what happened? OF is 3. Let's see, let's solve it out. What is that tell us about F? If OF is 3 units, what is point O, guys? It's the origin, right? The x value of the origin is 0. We find that. So if I'm going from 0 and I'm going 3 units backwards, what x value is this going to be?
-3.
-3. I can actually even say that f is the point -3 and 0. Right? The y value of f is 0. Okay, so now remember guys, what is our objective here? We want to get the y value of g and we want to get the y value of h. Now guys, the fact that they've shown us that f is making, well, this line, I suppose, HGH is making a 90-degree angle with this axis, is showing us that all three of these points are in line with each other. They all have the same x value. Okay? Does that make sense? The x value of x is -3, but g is right underneath it. Doesn't that give you the same x value, right? And h as well. So we have the x value of g. Can I use the x value of g to find the y value of g? You can sum it into the straight line equation. Because g lies on the straight line, right? And can I find the y value of h if I know that the x value is -3? Sum it into the parabola equation because h is on the parabola. Okay, now I'm going to try and summarize all of that. Again, I'm going to write probably more steps than you would do in a text or exam, but it is the first example, so we can do that. Just going to write here next to it, therefore f is -3, 0.
It's definitely going to be negative.
Okay, so G lies on straight line. Therefore, y of g is going to be, what is the straight line equation? X minus 1. Is that right? -3 minus 1, which is -4. Oh, sorry. Next one, it's fine. H lies on parabola. Therefore, the y value of h, what was the equation of the parabola? It's -x squared plus 1. -3 squared plus 1.
and that's double, that's so nice.
So the y value of 8 is negative 8. Therefore, GH y value of G minus the y value of H. Yes, you could have the -4 minus -8 for units, or you can just think what is the difference between -4 and -8 for units. So you can write GH is equal to 4 units.
So this is the one or just positive. Question paper, and they were asked to work out something, and then after the question was, show you this. But then I was thinking problem, and then just the answer.
That's quite funny.
Oh, it's wrong.
I feel like you could get that on screen. I can't get that on. So
Small.
Great.
It was like it was something. They wrote that paper up. So why like to draw a certain and next to that we drew like a little bit of
Like a little All right, now moving on to the next and the final question of this example. The coordinates of J and K. If JK is 4 units. All right, thank you. Write that down, please. It depends on the question. All right, JK is 4 units. Where is JK? Over here. All right, JK, that one over there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, that doesn't look nice. Let's do a different one. Let's do this side. All right, JK is 4 units. That's what they're telling us now. How would we have calculated that again? Yes. You want to start? We are not going to. Not in this case. But we do have to work with both equations to offering. That's front. How did I find this length? I did the y value of G minus the y value of H. So how would I find this length? Y value of J minus y value of K. Do I have the y value? But do I have how will I find the y value of any point on the straight line, including J? By using the formula, hey, y is equal to x minus 1. So guys, if we don't know what the y value of J is, an expression for it is actually the equation. the equation of the straight line, x minus 1. And then what would I be able to use as an expression for the y value of k? Yeah, the equation.
So
I know that's what you guys are saying, but the equation of the parabola, right? The equation of the parabola. So guys, what do I know here? This y value or expression for the y value minus this y value or expression for it should equal 4. Let's go.
Let's go. X minus 1 minus 4.
Equals 4. So I'm going to write here y value of j minus y value of k is equal to 4, just as a little intro. So we go and talk about this and think what is going on. So j was on the straight line, so we use the straight line equation as an expression for that y value. So I'm going to just use a highlighter. I'm going to highlight this and this. That's the same thing. You don't know what the y value is, so we use the equation to represent that y value. Minus, I'm going to put that in brackets, guys, because it's more than one term. What was the equation of the parabola? It was plus 1. That is the y value of k. An expression for it, since we don't know what it actually is. Let me see, equals 4. Equals 4. What am I going to get when I solve this equation? The trinomial, and then when I solve that trinomial, x values. But what are those x values going to represent? And why am I getting 2? We should look at the picture. So what the reason for that is, let me just show you here, the reason that these 2 points have the same x definitely, they are in line. So the one x value that I'm going to get is going to represent the x value of j and of k. But what's gh? Gh again? Yeah, but what did we calculate gh to be? Oh, gh was also 4. Yes, correct. Gh was also 4, guys. And how did we get the length of gh? We took a point on the straight line minus a point on the parabola. And this was also 4. So that's why we're going to get 2 x values, guys. The one x value is going to be the x value of g and h, because that is another place where the straight line is 4 units above the parabola, right? And that's what we've done here. When we look at our equation that we've written, what we're basically saying is straight line and parabola are 4 units apart. And because I'm doing the straight line equation first, I'm saying the straight line is 4 units above the parabola. Okay, so we are going to get 2 answers because there are 2 places where that actually happens. Okay, let's do that quickly. X minus 1 plus x squared minus 1. And I'm going to bring this 4 over so long because I know I'm going to have to. So we have x squared plus x, what is this, minus 6 equals 0. Oh, negative 1 minus 1 minus 4. Okay, now I need to factorize factors of 6. The difference between them is being positive 1. 3 and 2, x plus 3, x minus 2. So x is negative 3 or positive 2. Negative 3 was the x coordinate, well, what that was, the x coordinate of g and h. Right? If we look back at it, remember, because we had f was negative 3 and then we used negative 3. So this is g and h. So the x value of j and k is going to be 2. They didn't already ask for the x value, right? They asked for the coordinates. So if I have that the x value is 2, go back up to the picture quickly. What graph does j lie on? The straight line. So I'm going to sub in x equals 2 into the straight line equation to get the y value of j. Okay, guys, on that parabola, so we're going to sub x equals 2 into the parabola equation to get k. All right. Coming right here. For J, y is equal to x minus 1, so 2 minus 1, right? Having it into the straight line equation. So that is 1. So, no, it was x minus
Oh,
1.
yeah, sorry.
So J is the point 2 and 1. I'll just make a little note here. This is the straight line equation. That's what I'm doing there in case you forget. To get k, since it lies on the parabola, I'm going to sub the x value, which is 2, into the parabola equation. So negative x squared was a plus 1, yes. So that is negative 3. Well, minus in my brackets, guys. Because it's negative x squared, it's not negative x squared. Okay. So then what is this? Negative 3. So k is the point to negative 3. Is the difference between those 2.4 units? We're looking at the y value. It is, right? Okay. Your homework is the following. It's just one example like this or one question like this. Exercise 8.5, page 178. Number 3. Yeah, number 3. It's A, and C. Guys, we are not going to be doing AP tomorrow. Okay. I think we'll do it all this first. What was the one that we have mixed stuff? You guys work and talk. I can't do it. I'll try those on the classroom unless you have questions in terms of the tab, but I think the class was fine. For 6.1, guys, I think just leave that out. I forgot to ask for support, but I'm sure it was a mistake. Because I just can't find the link. They are no way. And it can't be true. There's nothing written anyway. So just leave out 6.1. You can literally write 6.1 and just leave it blank. I will know the mark for not being complete. Okay, just do 6.3.